interview in the studio today. We have Chris Ralph and John Muggleton from an acting company. And they're here to tell us a little bit about their place of business and what they do there and how they met. And
that's right, because they're right up the street from us
Right
here
up
at
the street.
MJM. You're at 730 Bank Street, I believe.
We are 738 Bank Street.
And you just opened up, I believe, August 1st. So the acting company, what's it all about?
Yeah, we are just up the street, actually. We're right in the heart of the Glebe at 2nd Avenue, and I'll tell you a little bit about the space. It's there was an old movie house in the Glebe at 2nd Avenue opened in 1928, closed in 1956, one of the first talkies in town. And then in 1956, instead of tearing it down, they just gutted the space. So unbeknownst to most people who live in the Glebe, the heart of the theater is still there. So when we were looking for a space to open up the school a couple of months ago, we found this spot. And what you find is there's this terrific space. It's the old stage of the theater with big 60-foot high ceilings and a balcony and hardwood floors, and it's beautiful. So standing outside the theater, you'd have no idea that this is going on in there. So yeah, it's a great space, and really looking forward to getting started in there in a week or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really funky because when we walked in, I mean, it has a balcony because of the red brick, the old brick, and the hardwood floors, and this kind of funky balcony with a ramp that goes up to it. We sort of walked in and said, "This is it." So we looked at 15 places,
Lots
20
of different
places.
It's pretty tough to find a theater in Ottawa.
Yeah, it's tough to find a good studio space.
I find oftentimes it's like that where like you'll find something and it's just perfect. And sometimes even if you look continuously afterwards, you can be looking forever and not find something as perfect as that one perfect spot that you found.
It's a great space. There's a lot of good ghosts in there, as they say. You know, I mean, it's the first time in 60 years that there's been any arts in that theater at all. So it feels really fortuitous. It's nice. It's a great, really warm space.
I was lucky enough to visit actually before you opened. I dropped by and I was actually looking to seek you out, and it really is a lovely space, and it's so adaptable to so many different. We'll get to that a little bit later on because we want to know what you're actually going to be doing at the acting company. But it's a perfect space for, I was thinking, hey, we'd make a great apartment or a place for a cocktail party.
It would make a great apartment.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, it's very New York. It's got all that sort of open loft, and I think the ceilings are how high in that thing?
60 feet.
60 feet.
Oh,
60 feet. Oh, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a great space.
There's 2 offices and another smaller studio up the hall. It's a great space. We were very lucky to just sort of walk in there and go, this is it.
That's amazing.
We should do that. We should actually maybe just sell our houses and move in there. We could really, cut a few corners.
Sounds good. We'd save some money.
Exactly.
There you go.
Good move.
I think it's a plan. So the acting company, let's start at the beginning. The two of you met, you're both actors, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Now, you both met during a production of Speed the Plow. Now, how did that meeting lead to you opening the acting company and offering acting classes? How did that all come about?
Well, I guess it was a couple of things. I mean, John and I knew each other a little bit in the community before Speed the Plow, but became good friends doing the show. And that's a David Mamet show that we did at the Gladstone a couple of years ago. And it's a really fun piece because it's just rapid fire dialogue, very intense. So John and I, we worked a lot on it outside of rehearsal, and we really had a lot of fun together. And we discovered that we had a lot of the same ambitions and a lot of the same values. And we both love to teach. We've both been teaching for a lot of years, and both love to perform, and it just made sense that the two of us would get into business. Our skills complement each other, our teaching skills, our business skills, and so we started looking in the spring.
I think our philosophy on teaching too, we're big fans of making the classes, getting people up on their feet right away, making them lively and fun. We don't spend a lot of time on theory and talking. People that take classes, particularly recreational classes, they want to have fun. They want to get up. They want to learn right away, get up on their feet, do exercises, get confidence, have fun, interact, work on scenes. And so that we knew that was kind of our philosophy of teaching.
And a lot of it, a lot of the people who take classes, I mean, It's sort of, they're looking at something to do in the fall, and they think, should I do Szechuan cooking, Spanish classes, or maybe acting classes? So yes, there's a third of our students who do want to become actors, and we certainly have lots of training for those guys. And then there's another third who just want to do it for social, meet some new people, have a great time. And then there's another segment of people who are, they're looking for practical skills. They want to have better communication skills. They want to be stronger in meetings. We have a lot of new Canadians who take classes with us. So it's a really broad range of people that we get in there. Well, I mean, we offer, I think, about 35 different classes? 30 different classes?
Like that.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
I believe you offer everything from beginners to, fairly seasoned professionals and all age ranges, correct?
All age ranges. We've got, we're partnering with the Ottawa Children's Theatre and with 100 Watt Productions. That's Christina Watt and Amanda Lewis, respectively, and they run fantastic children's programming. They've both been in the business for 20 years, so they're going to be using our space to do their children's programming. We're doing our own youth programming as well. We're doing youth for camera classes. We're doing a Shakespeare youth class. We're doing acting classes for youth. So, yeah, it's pretty broad, and we've got some great people teaching there. I just mentioned two. We've also got Mary Ellis, who's a Gleebite. Has been living here for about 20 years. Big GCTC actor, one of the best directors in town. We're really excited to have her on board. And Laurie Fife, who's an award-winning playwright, has been teaching all across the country. We're thrilled to have her. And then there's a new guy who people who've been following Ottawa theatre for a lot of years will know the name. It's a guy named Robert Boxtel. And Robert was one of the original founders of GCTC back in the 70s. And did a lot to really put Ottawa theatre on the map in its golden early days. Then he went off to Toronto and eventually to LA, and he was a star of North of 60 and really big TV career. Anyway, he's come back to Ottawa now, and so he's going to be running our acting for camera classes. So we're thrilled to have him. So it's a great team.
So you definitely have a lot of big names involved in your company, so that's going to go a long way in attracting people and getting people to have some one-on-one time with these people who have diverse experiences, et cetera, from children's theater to North of 60 to and everything in between, all of that LA, Toronto, Montreal, all of that experience. So that allows your company to really offer a nice array, can I say, of experience to the people who sign up and take your courses.
Yeah, there's another program that we're really excited about because I don't think it's been done in the city at all, but we're running a Studio 55, we're calling it. John came up with that name. It's great. And it's for seniors, for people who are 55 and over.
Excellent.
And they can study acting, and there's some voice involved, lots of scene study, and we choose material that's really, for them, that they'll be interested in. So we're really excited about that. That's going to be running in the afternoons. I think it's Monday, Wednesday.
Mondays and Wednesdays, yeah, in the afternoons.
And we've got a lot of registrations for that. That's going to be a really fun class. We'll have the coffee pot on, be nice and social, and it's going to be fun. We're looking forward to
awesome.
it.
Excellent. Now, going back to the courses that you teach, I understand you also teach a public speaking. You have a public speaking course that you are offering, and I think, John, you have an interesting angle on that as far as dealing with being on stage and being maybe a little fearful. Or I understand you this is something that's very close to you in the sense that as an actor, you sometimes experience a sense of a case of nerves.
Absolutely, yeah. I suffer from pretty bad stage fright, which is odd because I've been acting for over 20 years. In Toronto and England and here, and but I get very, very bad stage fright before I go on. So I have figured out ways that work for me to get myself over that, so that I inflate myself with confidence, and that I can go out there and do and Chris has seen it. Certainly when we did Speed the Plow, which was a very, very intense play. It was technically very difficult, and I would be backstage almost hyperventilating, and Chris would talk me down and say, okay, and so we sort of developed this way of getting confidence and filling yourself with confidence and calming yourself down, so you just go out there and give it 100%, and it works. So a lot of the, as Chris sort of touched on, a lot of the people that take these classes are people that are have jobs that they might present or do presentations in their job. So they're taking these courses to get confidence, to learn how to be a dynamic speaker, to relax and own the space. One of the things that I teach is how to own the space, own the room, own the stage. So when they walk out there, that is their space that they're presenting in. So we have all these exercises that we've developed and to help people overcome their stage fright and just get the confidence they need to be a dynamic presenter and public speaker.
Yeah, our goal is really to, we want people to become better communicators on stage, but also better communicators in life. And, you were wrecked before this interview. I mean, and you're owning it now. You own this interview.
I drank a bottle of vodka.
Yeah, he did just before he came out.
It's the only way I can get through it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Mickey under the chair if you ever need a little refill there.
So let's learn a little bit more about you guys. How did you guys get into acting? What inspired you to become actors? What kind of, what did you decide at the beginning was the reason that you wanted to get into the business?
Boy, that's a tough one. I mean, I think for most actors, it's a pretty circuitous route. I mean, not many people, I think, start out, they want to be an actor and they just become an actor. It's everybody does lots of different things. But I mean, for me, I think my dad was an Anglican minister, so he was on stage a lot. He was a great actor, actually, and so there's a lot of kind of theatricality in my life, and I think. I just always enjoyed being up in front of people. I was a real ham and eggs in school, and I just loved entertaining people. And so I knew early on, even living in a little community where there was no theater at all, that it was something I really wanted to do. And I was lucky that my parents took me down to Stratford a couple of times growing up, and I got to see acting. And I realized pretty early on it was what I wanted to do. So I went to school and. Went to studied at university and then went to National Theatre School, but then took a pretty long route, a pretty long journey. I went and worked on ships in the Antarctic and in the Arctic for 8 years, and loved it. Signed up for 6 months and ended up doing it for years and years and years. But all the way, all the time that I was on ships, I realized, I need to get back to what I'm doing. So I ended up in Ottawa and met my wife here, who was working at the NAC at the time, and started getting back into theatre. And actually, I don't know if we met each other then, but I started doing shows at the Ottawa Little Theatre where John works, and which is an amazing place. If you're starting out or you love acting, I mean, the OLT, Ottawa in general, has got more community theatre than anywhere else in Canada, and the best community theatre by far. A lot of the stuff that they do at OLT or at Orpheus is way better than a lot of the professional stuff in town.
Agreed.
But anyway, I did a few shows there and absolutely loved it, and then just started doing more and more shows. So yeah, I've been doing it now for 20 years, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about you, John?
Yeah, well, it's a similar story, really. You just sort of fall into it. But I was encouraged by my friends to audition for a place. So I went to Ottawa Little Theatre and auditioned. My mom actually was an actress in the 50s.
Legendary there.
Yeah, in the 50s. So I knew of the Ottawa Little Theatre. So I went to an audition and I was cast in a play with no lines. I was on stage for like 3 minutes. But when I was on stage, it felt like the most... I realized then, this is actually what I'm supposed to do. And within a couple of rehearsals, I wanted a part that had the lines. Like I was looking at the lead going, I could do that. Like, I want to do that. But I did that play and without any lines. And the next play I did was the lead. And then I just never looked back. But I knew when I was doing it, and anyone who has acted, you just know, you go, that I'm very comfortable here. My instincts are very good. I always tell people, I sort of realize of all the things I do, it's the thing I do least worse. Because I'm actually better at that. I'm very comfortable. I have good instincts, and this is where I want to be. So I acted here in Ottawa for a couple of years, and then I moved to Toronto and did a lot of television, more than stage in Toronto. Cool. And then I moved to England for a couple of years and studied theatre, and then moved back and more focused on theater here, but it's sort of a similar story. You just sort of get into it, and you realize that's what you love doing, and you make certain sacrifices, and it's highs and lows. There's times in your life where, wow, this is fantastic. I'm really glad I chose this path. And there's a lot of times, why did I choose this path? This is not, this is not. But it's just what you're supposed to do. Just feels right.
Yeah.
And a big part of it too, I think, and one of the reasons John and I started working together and really enjoyed working together was we both really enjoy the process. And I think a lot of actors who do it for a living will tell you that, the process of, that hunt for a character, building a show, that's really more fun than the performance itself, actually.
Absolutely.
And we had so much fun working together on that show last year that, and we have fun every day. We just laugh and creating this business has been, really a joy and a lot of fun. So it's the process, I think, that's actually the art. And, whatever you do at the end, that's just the ashes, right? I mean, that's the product, but it's the process that's the most fun.
Yeah, I love rehearsing.
Oh, totally.
I absolutely prefer rehearsing over performing. I mean, I like performing once I'm out there. Once I get out there, try and get me off. Like I'm, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that ride, but I much prefer the process. I much prefer rehearsing and working on lines and discovering things, particularly comedies, where you do something funny just to try something and it works, and you've created that, and then when you do it on stage and you get a huge laugh, you think, wow, that came from just an idea or something silly, and then it became a big part of the play. It's a fun process.
Which is one of the reasons where one of our classes, we're doing a scene study class, and I think what's different about this one than any other school that does this is that so we have an introductory class called Acting Essentials, where we talk about the fundamentals of acting and the vocabulary and all those things, get people up on their feet. And then our second level of class is called Creating a Role, where you start interacting with other people on stage, and we start talking about intentions and objectives. And then the third level is a scene study class. And what's fun about that class is that it every session, we have 8-week sessions, will be a different genre. So for instance, first one will be modern, and then the second one may be Shakespeare. Third one might be absurdism, something like that, so that people can really try different styles, and so they can take lots of different classes. And so we hope to have kind of almost a theater club that way. But it's that, we really want people to fall in love with the process of creating a character. I think we're in such a results-driven world, and it's partly the technology that we can just create stuff like that. And we don't really enjoy the ride and of creating something, and the idea of writing a book or doing a play. It just seems, for a lot of people, it seems like an impossibility. But like anything else, it's just building little steps at a time.
Well, you mentioned about the whole discovery process. I think whether you're the actor on stage or you have an opportunity of directing a stage, I think you're right. That's the most exciting part of being involved in theater, is to watch the actor discover, or to discover, if you're on stage, is to discover it yourself and go. And the whole idea of creating something out of nothing. I mean, you do have the written word, but over the years, the plays are done by different actors and different results ensue. But I think it's the fact that you can take a black and white script and then create a whole life around it and have it affect your life and the audience. And I think that's the whole magic of theater. And of course, offering the classes like you are, you get to see people, like you said, not all people will want to become actors, but even for people who want to go to establish a new sense of confidence about how they react at work or presentation skills, et cetera, it's to watch their personal development, and to know that you've been a part of that is so rewarding.
Yeah, I've taught at York and at University of Ottawa and Ottawa Theatre School, and a lot of the students that come out of there, they don't end up necessarily as actors, but what they really do learn is they learn the creative process, which is applicable to anything, to any business that you're in. And you also learn a discipline, right? You learn that it takes a lot of work. And for rehearsing, for example, people think that when you put up a show, all the work is done in a rehearsal hall. That's it. You go to work from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then that's it. But 80% of the work is done at home. It's spent walking around the living room trying to find something something, or with your nose buried in a script and trying to figure out what the scene is about, and that's where the real work is. And we really try to instill that in our students. And that's also, as we said, it's the most fun. That's the hunt for the character, right? And I think that's why people fall in love with it. And discoveries, you said something interesting about discoveries, Denis, and discoveries as a teacher, that's really one of the most important things that I try to teach students through various exercises. It's so important that when you're up there, and again, whether you're doing a presentation at a meeting or whether you're in a play or whatever, we have to realize that not only is this the first time that these people have ever seen this or heard what you're saying, but it's the first time that the character has ever said this. So you really have to remember that you're making little discoveries along the way, and that's what an audience falls in love with. They fall in love with an arc of a character, the journey. And so a lot of what we do at the acting company is about discovery and about journey.
And also I think an actor we all learn so much about ourselves when we are in a production or whether we're acting, because face it, the character comes from us, so you have to really be able to analyze yourself and analyze how you deal with certain situations and adapt that to the scene or how the play works out. But I think it's that self-discovery that's also important, and whether or not you go into acting, like you're offering the public speaking course. I think for any kind of employee or anybody at all, that sense of discovery about yourself really gives you tools that will help you in whatever form of whatever you do for a living. I think that'll become so instrumental for them. So what you're offering is not only the acting company courses, but you're also offering such a great opportunity for self-development, self-confidence, presentational skills, etc., etc. Pardon me?
Self-development.
Exactly, self-development.
Well, as John said, and he was talking about the fear, stage fright that people have, and it's so true. And one of the things that we really practice is just being in the moment, right? You have to do a little bit of a warm-up before you get there. You can't just get off the bus with your coffee or out of your car, walk on stage, and you're doing, Death of a Salesman. Because, we spend most of our time, there's a great theater practitioner named Anne Bogart who says we spend most of our life sleepwalking through life. And as an actor or as a presenter or as just a great master communicator, you cannot spend all that time in your head. You can't be worried about the future. You can't be thinking about what your next line is, or that time that you got booed on stage or whatever. You got to stay in the moment. So a lot of stuff that we do in the presentation classes that John was talking about really is about breathing. It's about being in the present
and having fun.
Yeah.
Make it fun.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're not having fun doing it, then don't do it. Whether you're presenting at work or you're in a play, you have to enjoy it. So a lot of the stuff we teach is have fun. Own the space, own the room, own the stage, and have fun. It's your moment to shine. And as you said, the magic, we want to teach everyone you can enjoy that magic when all of a sudden you realize you own the room and everybody's engaged in what you're saying and what you're doing. And that's magical when that happens. And we all know how that feels when you realize I have everyone in the palm of my hand. Everyone is listening for my next word or my next movement. And that can happen on stage or it can happen in a workplace. But that's what we teach is just, enjoy that moment.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're just about done.
Yeah, we're just about done.
So fast.
I know. It's so. We
Time
stay here all
flies.
Wait a
afternoon.
minute, the fools, they were here a lot longer.
We had 3 hours.
We were outside forever waiting for the
3
Well,
hours.
Scott.
and Kat, I'll tell you,
Once he gets going, I'll tell you. But this sounds great. I mean, I know you've just opened up, and I know you've been so far. We've had a little discussion before we went on air, and you're doing very well as far as sign up for classes. Now, give us the information. Like if they want to sign up for classes, where do they go? How do they get in touch with you? Give us that.
Well, you can go online. Our website is www.actingcompany.ca. We've got all kinds of descriptions about all the different classes. As I said, we've got about 30 different classes. You can go on there. You can see who's teaching them. You can see what the classes are about. And you can sign up online there as well. So you can just register online. If you have any questions, you can call us at 613-744-5353. And we love to talk to people. And in fact, before you sign up, it's not a bad idea to give us a call. We'll help you get into the right class. And we're on Twitter and we're on Facebook too. And drop by for coffee. We always have the coffee pot on.
There you go.
Well, we don't
That's
actually
great.
have a coffee pot.
Well, we will.
You
We
will.
have a
Once,
coffee pot.
once the
true.
budget starts getting
that's-
a little
that's
better,
right.
yeah,
A few more registers.
yeah.
Well, there'll be no coffee in the coffee pot, but the coffee pot will be
It's to
on.
be there.
There
It's
you go.
it's all about the gesture.
It
You know?
is.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
So, speaking of people taking courses with you, we understand that as our second contest for today's podcast, now we don't normally do 2 contests. Today is a special occasion because it is the launch of our epic podcast. We understand that you are going to be giving away a course.
A fabulous prize. Would you
Yes,
like
we
to?
thought we would like to offer up an introductory class, an 8-week course in basically introductory stagecraft and getting you up on your feet and having fun and learning what it's all about. And that starts, I believe, September 11th.
Yep, beginning in September. We've got, and you could sign up for, it can be any class. We've got classes starting in September, October, November, so whatever works for you.
But the prize is that introductory class. Yeah.
So it's an 8-week introductory class.
Yep.
Wow, that's excellent. Thank you. First, thank you very, very much. That's very generous on your
Very
behalf.
Oh, well, thanks for
Well,
having
and
us.
what are the fools doing? What are they giving?
Yeah, what are they? Pair of tickets?
Yeah, what are they
They're
doing?
giving some tickets, and some T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Oh,
T-shirts.
well,
Do we have
that's
acting
right.
company T-shirts available yet?
No,
Not yet.
Not yet.
After the
They-
coffee,
they
we get the
have the
T-shirts.
coffee.
Maybe
There
next
you
time
go.
you come
I
by.
actually have a Fool's T-shirt. They're very
I
very
do
nice.
too. They're great.
Yeah, they're great. Actually.
yeah.
They seem to be
Love the
throwing those from
Fools.
the airplane. I don't know.
They're great.
So, being our guests, we would like it if maybe you guys could pose what the quest or contest competition will be to win these acting classes.
Well, we think we should start it just as you would if you were in Toronto struggling. I think you need to audition.
Oh,
So I think if somebody submits, they can email. You'll give the instructions,
Yes.
right? But I think a 6 to 10 second little clip of a monologue or a line from a movie or something that we can look at and say, wow, okay, there's somebody who could
something
really-
entertaining.
something entertaining, and say, okay, that was really entertaining, lively, and fun. We want you in our class.
So it can be there's Vine. You can do it on
The app,
YouTube.
yeah, I think it's called
an
Vine.
app, I
There's
think it's called
Vine, there's
Vine.
Instagram.
Instagram. Can you phone? Yeah, why not phone?
Over the phone?
Well, you
that's
could
up to
video record it with your
Oh,
phone.
you could video record
and
with your
then
phone.
Put it online. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
And then we'll just, you'll pick.
Well, what
Yeah.
we'll do is we'll get everyone to submit, and Kitty will give us the address. What we'll
Yeah.
do is we'll get everybody to submit their clips. So we're going to make it 6 to 10 second audition
Which
clips.
is very
So,
short.
yeah, we're looking for something creative, right?
Yep.
We're looking for something
Fun,
original,
lively.
Something eye-catching, something that's going to get our attention.
We
right?
don't want anything weepy. I don't want to weep.
No
No,
weeping.
no weepy.
It's
we
happy.
want-
Fun people.
This is happy.
In 6 to 10 seconds. It's hard to weep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You really
you
got to
weep.
jump.
You
You,
gotta work
really have
right
to
in.
get right into it if you're
Yeah,
going to do
It takes
that.
a Sean Penn to really pull that kind of 6-second weep, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 6 to 10 second. So we will ask everybody to submit their clips,
Mm-hmm.
and what John and Chris will do is they will select the one that they best feel. The one that wins. They'll pick
Yep.
the winner,
Yep.
and the winner once again will win themselves a wonderful prize, an 8-week beginner. What's the official name of it?
It's called Acting Essentials.
Acting Essentials, an 8-week course over at the Acting Company right here on Bank Street, right up the street from us. All right, well, gentlemen, Kitty, where do they send the clips to?
So you can send your clips to contest@mjmepics.com. And just keep them 6 to 10 seconds long. You can submit them via Instagram or YouTube or Vine. And just send them to us. And hopefully we'll get some good entries. And next week on our podcast, we will probably air our top 3, with the number 1 spot being the winner of the wonderful acting classes that the Acting Company is providing us.
All right. Well, gentlemen, on behalf of Kitty and myself at MJM, it's a pleasure to have had you here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and thank you for
This is
doing this.
great.
This is
Yeah,
very
this
exciting
is
to have you
exciting.
guys here in the community. And
This is different too.
yeah,
This is true. We're all starting out.
We should
Yeah.
promote you. You should be on this side. We
yeah,
should be
because you guys have an amazing studio here. This is an
thank you.
incredible place. It's beautiful.
Yeah, very
And
friendly.
there's Stephen. He's waving through the window there. Like,
He's
this
got a
is
smile, that guy.
always a smile.
Yeah,
no,
we
it's,
keep-
my
it's
phone
great.
too.
We keep him on that side of the glass. That way he doesn't, bite anyone. Or anything, so.
But congratulations on
Yeah,
your launch too.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. So we wish each other the best of luck.
Yes.
Yes, and hopefully
And-
we'll be seeing more of you in the future.
At the gelato place up the street.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And listen, anytime you have something new coming up or you have some new information or you're offering a new set of class or whatever, please feel free. You're right up the street. Please feel free to drop by to one of our podcasts and promote your stuff. We look forward to our next opportunity. So thanks very much for coming in once again, ladies and gentlemen. It was Chris Ralph and John Muggleton from the Acting Company right up the street Street at 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah, 7:30 Bank Street. So if you're interested, you have all the information, and we look forward to seeing you.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, guys.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you. We're here this week with our featured artist, Sacha Estabrooks, a local singer and songwriter. Hi, Sacha.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thanks.
It's great to have you in the studio today, and I understand a little bit later on we're going to have the pleasure of listening to one of your original compositions.
Yes.
And we're really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we want to get to know you a little bit better. Now, you're from the Ottawa area, is that correct?
I am. I was born here in Ottawa, lived in the Glebe for pretty much my entire life so far. So, yeah.
So you're a Glebe girl.
I'm a Glebe girl. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
What's your background?
Musically, I'm guessing, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I started playing music when I was quite young. My dad's a musician. My brother come from a long line of musicians. So my dad got me on the piano pretty much as soon as I could sit upright. And I've been playing piano. Started singing when I was again very young. Really since very 3 to 5. Went to Canterbury High School for singing, and have been writing my own music since I was around 10. So
Cool.
yeah.
Since you were about 10.
Yeah, I started writing piano when I was about 10. My piano teachers used to get pretty upset with me because I would take songs and then turn them into something completely different and just pretend it was the song. Because I had always had an ear for music, but I didn't like reading music. That's the notation. But yeah,
So you managed to make something fanciful out of something really boring that you'd have to do at the piano.
exactly. Yeah,
Excellent. So
creativity
that's where
ruled. Yeah.
your creativity came out at an early age, obviously.
Yeah.
That's great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I guess your family is very musically oriented for all of that sort of training and everything they've been through?
My dad comes from a family of 8, and every single one of them sing, play guitar, play piano, or what have you. My dad's I think amazing. He really taught me a lot when I was younger, growing up. And my brother as well. My brother sings and plays guitar and does little performances here and there. So yeah.
So, from our conversation before the interview, you were mentioning that your father still performs around town.
Yeah.
And he manages to drag you up on stage at every opportunity. Is that the way it
He
goes?
tries. Guilt trips me. So it's sweet though. It's nice of him.
So, does your whole family perform, or does just your father and yourself, or?
My brother will perform here and there. If he's out with friends, or if there's an open mic or something, he's usually thrown up on stage. Or my mom's also a very big advocator of the music. So if any chance, she just gets us up there as well.
So judging from the fact that all of your siblings are involved in music, I assume that in your household, at every opportunity, you were encouraged to.
Very much, yeah. Our gatherings always consisted with music at the end or at the beginning or during, or any parties we had. It was we used to have backstage presents, which is my mom's house. She has a big backyard and a nice little deck, and all of our friends would get together when we would play music and sing. So it's been through my life, forever. Yeah.
That's really awesome. What inspired your musical, I guess, your musical genre?
That one's a hard one to answer for me. I don't know. I listened to a lot of blues growing up. My mom played all different types of music. Fleetwood Mac was a big thing in my house for when I was younger. Nat King Cole as well.
Yeah, I noticed you have a very soulful sound. I listened to some of your stuff on YouTube, and it's very beautiful, very soulful, and you could definitely tell that it's coming from deep within you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my dad sounds like that too.
I was mentioning earlier, you have a very clear sound to your voice. It's very unaffected. It's very pure. It's very true. Like musicians will say, it's a true sound, and it's a very nice sound, and you produce it very well. Now, obviously, since you started so young, your influences must have changed over the years as your talent grew and as your experience grew as you grew into an adult. Are there any particular artists that you I would hate to say emulate, because nobody wants to think that they're copying anyone, but are there any artists that have inspired you over the years?
Yeah, it's a wide range though. I mean, like Celine Dion, which is kind of funny, but I was obsessed with her as a child. Again, Nat King Cole, Aretha Franklin, Annie DeFranco. I was really into her when I was like 13, 14, 15. Pearl Jam, like it's nice. Really random.
That's quite a wide variety
of really,
choices.
Like, I listened to everything when I was a kid, but there's parts of each artist that really stuck with me. Yeah.
And I guess that's what brings when you create the soup of your sound, let's call it. It's all these different elements that you bring into it that allows you to create a unique sort of persona of your own, because when you go from Pearl Jam to Nat King Cole, you really run, and you throw Celine Dion and Aretha Franklin in the middle. It runs the gamut of styles and expressions, and which is why you found your own unique way of expressing yourself, which is wonderful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the song that you're going to be singing for us today, it's an older song, I believe?
It is. I wrote it, I think 3 or 4 years ago. It's just one of those ones that kind of will play in the back of my head randomly. So I figured, let's do that one because it's has, I don't know, a little bit of strength with me. So
It's very cool. What's it called?
It's called Pinocchio.
Pinocchio? Yeah. And what was the inspiration for the song?
Much like many songwriters, it's a breakup song pretty much.
Okay.
Just seeing someone for who they are and kind of realizing it. Yeah.
So it's a personal...
Oh, they all are.
I was going to say, the best songs are personal.
Well, this is true, but there's I don't know. I guess those are the ones that matter the most, are the ones that really come from a truth behind an experience, and all those those good and bad ones that sort of lend themselves so well. It's funny how creative you are when you go through those things.
Oh yeah, the most. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sacha, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today, but I understand we're going to be seeing quite a bit more of you as you're planning on coming into our studios here and start working on some of your songs for your upcoming album. Is that correct?
That is. Yeah.
We're looking forward to working with you. Absolutely.
Very much.
Very excited.
And so up next, we'll be listening to Sacha's song Pinocchio, and stay tuned for that.
All right. Here we go.
It was good to see you.
You were too good to be true. I couldn't take my mind off of you. I was just swept up in your disguise. You really knew what to say to make my everythings go away. My God, you really calmed my heart. Oh, what a smile he had as he held my hand, as he spoke to me with his soft voice. He seemed so innocent then. How dare you think you're the king to my castle, to believe you're some knight with honor? You're no such thing, you're a liar, trying to believe you're a real man. Oh, you're a real boy. Oh, yeah, you're sure something. Even if I had more strength in me for you to hold in your hands, now don't be angry with me when I say, my dear friend, take it easy. Please sit there, just listen for once. How dare you think you're the king to my awesome night with honor. You're no such thing, you're a liar, trying to believe you're a real man. Whoa, you're a real boy. Oh yeah, you're sure something. You're just too good to be true.
Wow, that performance from Sacha was just so beautiful. It was wonderful, really. Denis, I'm always so impressed by all the talent here in Ottawa. It always blows me away what people can do.
You're right, Kitty. So if you want to show us what you can do, why don't you come on down and audition for our talent roster and be a part of all of the special projects that we're working on here at MJM Epic Productions.
You might even get the opportunity to become a featured artist on our show. So drop us a line at info@mjmepics.com. So that's it for this week's double EP.
That's right. Today we had the pleasure of speaking with Chris and John from the Acting Company, Scott and Kat from A Company of Fools, and our featured artist of the week, the lovely Sacha Estabrooks.
Tune in next time. We're going to be featuring Brett Kelly's film, My Fair Zombie, with our special guests, Lawrence Evanchik and Barry Cager, as well as we have a beatboxer coming in, Fabian Piquet-Grimes.
That's right. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, don't forget to subscribe below to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
And also, if you want to leave a comment down below, that way we'll be able to know what exactly you want to see and who you want us to interview here on the Double EP. I'm Kitty Kamenyaki.
And I'm Denis de La Violette, and that's it for the Double EP.
See you next time.